not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It's gonna be a pretty good week. Let's get into these charts. We just coming out of a pretty good week from CPI last week. So we definitely gonna have some opportunities in the market this week, y'all. And before we kind of get started, you guys, we're gonna give everybody about 3 more minutes. So about 2:05, we'll get everything kicking off. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Sunday to you too. And also, you guys, I got an announcement to make too. We have a new feature that we're gonna add to our Discord channel. And so I'll wait and I'll kind of announce that later on the call and kind of let you guys know what new feature I'm gonna add, which is actually pretty cool. Gonna give everybody a couple of more minutes before we get into these charts. I'm excited about this week. We had a lot of movement last week. Caught some really good entries. I hope you guys did well as well. This week I'm gonna actually test the waters quite a bit in the London session, just to test the ebb and flow of that particular session, see how it go. right, y'all, about one more minute and we getting on it. All right, y'all, let's get it. All right, y'all know how we do. We always start off with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, I want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you for life, health, and strength. Lord, I pray that anyone that's on this call will be blessed today. I pray that if someone is new, I pray that they learn something. I pray that this resource or this channel will be a blessing to all and a tool for someone to become financially free, someone to be able to help their family, and all that they desire out of this channel. I pray that everything that I teach, that I bring forth, will always bring value to everyone that's involved. And Lord, we ask these things in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Ishmael, Dale, Johnny, what's going on? Good to see y'all. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So let's look and see what Forex Factory got for us this week. We can see Sunday is always a slow day. I don't really do too much on Sunday unless it's something drastic. And so I'm not really expecting nothing from Sunday. Just kind of waiting for the markets to kind of settle. Actually on Sunday and Monday. As we can see, there's not really anything for Monday. So going into Tuesday, 7:30 Central Time, I can see that we have PPI for USD news, and we got core PPI as well. I'm curious to see exactly what that is. Let's see. It's a leading indicator of consumption inflation. When producers charge more for goods and services, the higher costs, yeah. Finished goods, PPI, wholesale prices, source change, series calculation. Okay. I need to read more on PPI and see exactly what that does. And what I'll do, I'll research that and I'll make sure I put that in the channel to see exactly what that do. But one of the things I do want to do though, I can see this is the 3rd week of June. I want to go back in May to see if we have any PPI around the 3rd or 4th week of May last month, just to see if there's some sort of correlation that we can see within that as well. So Tuesday around 7:30 Central Time, we definitely should see a little bit of action. Let's move over to Wednesday. Same thing. We got some action, 7:30 again for USD pairs. We got FOMC on Wednesday, 1 p.m. So we already know whenever that happens, we're gonna get some drastic moves within the market. So definitely looking forward to Wednesday to see what the markets can give us. Definitely should have some action on Wednesday. And we can see 8:30 that night, we got AUD news, so we can expect some big moves on gold. Last week, you got Friday, gold made some huge moves. So I was able to capitalize off of gold, but I hope a lot of you guys, if you did trade gold, I hope you were successful, but I know there was quite a few that liquidity took a lot of people out, and some people got blasted, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So Thursday, I'll definitely be doing a London session because I can see 2:30. Chef has some movement around that time, and also I can see GBP pairs at 6 a.m. So I'll definitely be on the chart during London and beginning of New York on Thursday, specifically for that GBP chef. And also you can see GBP as well. So that particular pair in its entirety for Thursday will definitely have some movement. Before I jump into anything else, if you guys have any pairs that you want to see marked up, please put them in the chat and I'll be happy to mark them up as well. We can also see 7:30 that morning. We have orange folders on USD, so we should definitely see some more movement for pretty much Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's make sure. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we should see USD pairs have movement during the New York session. And then closing it off on Friday, we got Powell speaking. We already know whenever he speaks, there's movement as well. So that's going to be at 7:45. So we can tell that USD will have some nice movement this week. Friday, GBP pairs, possibly the Japanese yen will have some movement as well. So yeah, we can definitely see some good movements within the market this week. All right. Hey, while you guys are on here, an announcement that I want to make. So in our Discord channel, I know a lot of times when I set alerts on these pairs, I am creating a channel within our Discord that the alerts will actually get funneled through. And so I'm testing that actually today, and I'll show you guys what I mean. That way we'll all have those alerts and we won't ever actually miss the alerts that we set forth. So I'm actually doing a test on this today just to see if it actually works. And if it does, you guys will see that up in probably within the main stuff. There will be a section in here that'll say trading view alerts. So any alerts that I set or whatever, those alerts will come in here. That way we all can be kind of notified as to when those pairs that we're looking at, whenever those alerts, we can kind of get those alerts all together and all kind of be on one accord. Y'all like that? Want to know what y'all think about that as well. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into these charts. Dale, you caught 230 pips. You too. Me too, man. I was 200 plus pips on there as well. So let's start off with GU, you guys. So as we can see, pretty much all USD pairs were doing the same thing with the exception of gold. Gold kind of followed that same suit, but gold really kind of did its own thing at the end of the day. So if we're looking at GU, we can see that we're still bearish extremely on the daily time frame. So let's go ahead and mark up our points. This here, let me make this bigger. I'm sorry, you guys. I got that extremely small. So this point here, this is our bottom point. This will be our daily lower low. This point here will be our daily lower high. Actually, hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna probably, because I remember last week I had this as a lower high, but it's a bit tricky because there are really no wicks on this particular area here. So currently right now, what I want to kind of look at and say, I'm gonna classify this as my lower high just because I have a wick here, and we'll kind of see what the market gives us, and we'll kind of play the part from there. This here is our last lower high here, and then I'll classify this as our lower low, or possibly, let me see, this here, because we got wicks on this area, because that's the furthest point in price. We want to make sure we stay consistent with everything that we do, because we have wicks. We don't necessarily have any wicks here. Those are bodies, so we're going to kind of omit that area there. All right, so let's go ahead and drop to the 4 hour and kind of look and see what we have. We can see, hold on, let's go back to the daily for a second. So if we throw a fibs on this, wait a minute. Low or high. Okay, this is a bit weird to me, but we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple. Because it didn't quite get up to this 50%, which this could be classified. It's still a pullback because we're getting this major pullback, and we can see that We end up breaking this area here, which was a bullish, bearish, bullish. This was a continuation demand zone here. And we can see that price is coming down, approaching this demand zone here on our daily time frame. And we also have a daily imbalance in this area as well. Come on, man. So we have a daily imbalance right here. Let's drop to the 4 hour and see what we have. So if we look at the 4 hour, the 4 hours imbalance is actually up in this area here, which price is actually approaching that area pretty much right now. So I'll change this to a 4 hour imbalance. And one of the things that I want to see, I'm hoping that it'll get down to this demand zone, but we never know what it's going to do. But in this area here, what I want to see is price to tap into this imbalance and possibly give us some sort of accumulation and then shoot back up. Give us a break of structure somewhere up in this area, a retest, and then possibly shoot back up. That's one of the things I want to see. Excuse me. This alert, excuse me, this alert that I have right here, we can omit this alert. This is actually a test. You can see I have this content here. This is actually a test that's going to our Discord. This is our first test that we have. As you can see here, excuse me, you can see this is our first test. So we can omit this alert here that you guys see, but that's pretty much what I want to see on GU. I want to see it tap into this imbalance, give us some sort of accumulation, and possibly give us a shot back to the upside. However, if it breaks this area here, I like to see it tap into this demand area. However, before this thing goes back up, I want to be mindful not to take any buys right away, because we're still bearish. And because of that, it can actually go down and break this daily lower low. So I really won't make any play or any moves within this particular pair until I see a break of structure and we get a confirmation for price to go back up. Excuse me. Hold on one second, you guys. Excuse me, sorry about that, you guys. But like I said, I don't want to make any play on this. I want to be careful with this. Because like I said, it can possibly go down and break this daily lower low to give us another low before it shoots back up. Okay, so I want to kind of be patient and mindful on this particular pair before we jump in and make any moves. So as of now, I mean, we can put an alert right there at that well, it's pretty much right there at the imbalance currently right now. So we'll just kind of wait and see what Sunday kind of plays out for it, and see how it kind of come into its own. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to EU. Now EU, I want to show you guys something. So there was a pretty good trade that we caught on EU last week. There was a distro that I was waiting on for a long time, and it finally played out. And as you guys can see, we had this distro, and there was an imbalance all the way up here at the top. And so I actually taught this in one of the other videos where I say, you know, you want to look at the highest point of interest within your distro for price to pull back into. And so this was news. Man, this was news where price pulled back, wicked into this area and dropped, you know, 100 pips before it came back to retest, kind of, sort of. And as you can see, this dropped all the way off within this EU, this particular EU trade. So let's go ahead and move this off. And let's kind of look and see exactly what EU is doing for us. So as you guys can see from EU, from a daily perspective, we're still bearish. However, we just had a break of structure on the daily time frame. So as you can see, we have our daily levels on here. We had a break of structure which broke our last daily lower high, and we're getting a pullback. So right now, we had two continuation patterns. We had a bullish, bearish, bullish, which gave us an impulse to another bullish, bearish, bullish. So this bullish, bearish, bullish here is beyond this point, and we're kind of sort of resting within this area here. Hold on one second, you guys. All right, you guys, sorry about that. We're back. Hey, what's up, B? I see you. All right, you guys, so back to what we were saying. So in this area here, we have a bullish, bearish, bullish, which is a demand zone right here. We can see price has tapped into our demand zone. Now let's break it down to the 4-hour and see exactly what we have as well. We can see within our demand zone, we have a imbalance that price is just tapped into, which is a pretty good POI for us to look at, because a lot of things, what I look for is on those 4-hour POIs, when price taps into it, I like to see some sort of Wyckoff schematic play out within that POI for price to kind of give us a reversal and jump back up. And so before we move any further, we can also see that price is well within our 50%. If we use our Fibonacci tool, we're in our golden zone where it's actually tapping the 61.8 right now. So we're well within a reversal area. So if we drop down to a lower time frame, maybe the 15-minute, and let's look and see what price is giving us right now. And we can see that price, it pretty much is starting to form some Wyckoff. So as we're looking at this, we can see this is a PS, this is a SC, which is a selling climax, AR, and we don't have an ST yet, but these are possibilities. So we can start marking this up just to see if price will actually play out in our favor, just to see exactly what it'll give us. So we can set our support lines, and we can set our resistance lines up in this area here, just to see if price will start playing out for us. And we can start marking up a few areas. This can be our PS. This area here can be our AR. We have a SC here, which is our selling climax. And then from there, we'll wait to see if we get a break below this support line that'll give us a ST and possibly come back up and give us a spring to shoot to the upside. So if we're looking at this from a 15-minute perspective, this resistance line here, this will be our actual break of structure as well. So if price, because we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, I'm sorry, currently right now, this area here, wait a minute. Low. This is our break of structure here on the 15-minute. The reason being is because you can see we got a lower high, a lower low, more than a 2 candle pullback, 1, 2, 3, and then that gave us an impulse to another lower low. Here, this could be the next lower high, but we haven't broke this lower low just yet for this to be confirmed as our next lower high. Okay, so right now this is our break of structure. If we get a break of structure here, then that'll let us know that price, we'll be looking for a pullback and for price to kind of turn around. So what we can do, we can set an alert right here. We'll use our Discord webhook for our test. Let me put my parameters in here. Hold on 1 second, you guys. I gotta make sure I get this to where it comes to our channel like we want it to. Go back to EU. All right, we'll say EU 15-minute BOS. Okay, so if it breaks this area here, we know that we have a break of structure on EU. However, if it breaks our support lines, I'll set an alert for that one as well. If it breaks our support lines, then we'll know it's possibly giving us a ST or something like that. EU breaks support lines. Okay, so that's what we're looking at for EU right now. We want to kind of let it play out, see what it's going to give us, and if we can catch that, I mean, we're looking at some really, really good pips just from this area alone. If we can catch something from down in this area, we see that we have a supply zone right here on the 4-hour time frame that price needs to tap back into anyway. So as we can see from this area where we are, this is roughly 100 pips or so to get back up into this area. And we also have an imbalance here as well to look at. Okay, so we want to see an accumulation from a Wyckoff perspective kind of form down in this area, give us a break of structure, come back, tap into a POI, and then kind of shoot to the upside. If we could catch the spring or something down in this area, then we can possibly sit into it until it gets up to this area. So we'll just wait and see exactly what it's going to give us. We have alerts on both sides, so we'll just be patient and see. All right. Also, like I said, if you guys have any pairs you want to see marked up, please go ahead and put them into the chat, and we'll be happy to mark them up for you guys. So this is a pair that we've been kind of hawking in our Discord channel. USD CAD last week, and some of us caught some, and I actually did not catch what I wanted to because this pair didn't give us a pullback like I was expecting. And as you can see, if we drop to like, let's go to the 1-hour time frame, and you guys can see on this pair, look at this, you guys. So with this pair, I mean, it was giving us down structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, and this thing broke structure, gave us this teeny weeny pullback, and then this thing shot off. Like, it never gave us a proper pullback. Like, this thing really took off. And if you kind of see, this thing skyrocketed almost 300 pips. I mean, this thing shot up. We're due for a pullback. You know, I would still like to see it, even from a 4-hour perspective. We're due for a pullback because we have this huge imbalance here that needs to be filled. I mean, there's so much unhealthy price action. I mean, price clearly shot off that, I mean, when you look at this, there are no black candles or reversal candles on this period besides this little small doji here. But I mean, price is shot off. So we're definitely due for a pullback. So I expect some sort of pullback on USD CAD to happen. And so let's kind of look at price and what it's doing right now in that area. So we can see on USD CAD, oh yeah, it left a lot of imbalances. On this particular pair, we can see this is our last, well, we got a higher high, higher low, higher high. So from a 15-minute perspective, before I decide to do anything with this pair, I at least want to see this area broken here, which will be a 15-minute break of structure. And I almost believe that on a lower time frame, we had a break of structure on the lower time frame. Yep. So I don't know if it's going to give us that pullback like we were expecting just yet. It could, you know, as you can see on the 5-minute time frame, if we're looking at this, we had a high, higher low, higher high. And as you can see, we broke structure and we're getting a pullback now. So basically this could be just a higher low on the 15-minute, or this could be that actual break of structure, retest, and then continue to the downside. Okay, so we just want to be patient just to see exactly what it's going to do. One of the things that we probably could do is look at this. I'm trying to see if there's any Wyckoff present on here. Looks a little weird. I mean, this could be, yeah, I want to be patient because, you know, like I said, on a 15-minute, it hasn't really broken structure on a 15-minute. For me to even really look to see if there's some sort of reversal just as of yet. So I'll go ahead and set an alert on this 15-minute area. USD CAD 15-minute BOS. And if it breaks that on a 15-minute, that'll let me know that it's starting to want to do a pullback. Like I said, we got 200 pips or so all the way down to that furthest imbalance. And so if we look at this on a daily perspective, you know, we're due for a pullback for this continue up, because we're expecting this thing to break this high up here, because as you can see, we're still in bullish momentum. Higher high, higher low, higher high. This is potentially our last higher low until it breaks this area here. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting, but I want to see, before we get there, I want to see this 15-minute break of structure, a retest, and then catch it to the downside. That's what I want to see with USD CAD. Okay, going over to G-Chef, you guys. Let's check this one out. So if we look at G-Chef from an overall perspective, we can see that we're still bearish on G-Chef. You know, we got our daily lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and we can see that this potentially is another lower high here. If we throw our fibs on this, we can see that it wicked right above our 61.8. However, it never came up to this area here to close out this daily supply zone. And we also have a huge daily imbalance in this area as well that price failed to actually close out. I still got confidence that it'll get up there. However, I think price wants to come back and maybe tap into this demand zone first before it do. What I say USD CAD respected the daily demand. I'll go back and check and see. What I want to see is price kind of tap into this demand zone and possibly shoot back up to this area before it comes to give us a lower low. I'm gonna tell you why I want to see that and why I think it might happen. So I had a accumulation schematic set up on this particular pair. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame. And let me remove the fib so it's not so junky. And if you guys can see this, you can see from a 4-hour perspective that we had an accumulation. We had a 4-hour break of structure in this area here. I don't really classify this as a pullback here. This was news where price just kind of came back, closed out this small imbalance, and gave us a shot to the upside. So one of the things I want to see is price kind of tap into this area here. What I'm hoping is that you guys see this is an imbalance right here. This is almost similar to the EU trade that I caught. So I want to see if price will tap into this area here and then shoot to the upside. That's what I'm kind of expecting. And so I have an alert right here. And I need to change this G-Chef breaks. That's not what this is. This needs to be GBP Chef approaching buy limit entry. Because this area here, I'm probably gonna set a buy limit for this. And you know, I want you guys to heed to the disclaimer. You know, I'm not 100% sure if this will hit, but I'm just letting you guys know I will set a buy limit for this, and I'll put the parameters and everything in there. And I think I actually have a buy limit for this already. Yeah, I do. So what I'll do, I'll put these parameters in our Discord. That way, if you guys choose to take this trade as well, you guys are more than happy to take it. But like I said, I want to see this play out, and it's still a bit risky. And so I'll decide if I'll keep this on there or not. The reason why I say this is risky is because ultimately we're still in down structure. You know what I'm saying? And so this is possibly our lower high, and it could break this. It could break this area, you know, but I'm going to use proper risk management. And I think that price could possibly come down here and we can possibly catch 100 pips up to this area before it dips to the downside. So like I said, I will set a buy limit for this, and I'll put the parameters within the Discord chat, and we'll see how this kind of plays out, because this actually might play out maybe Wednesday or Thursday during London or something like that. So we'll see exactly what it's going to do. Okay. Let me go back to USD CAD right quick. Mr. Bless, you said, will you say USD respected the daily demand? Let me see. Yeah, I would say that. I would say that because we had this huge daily demand here. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Yeah, it definitely respected it. We just didn't know exactly when it was going to shoot off. I had this 4-hour imbalance down here. That's what I thought price was going to do. I thought it was going to get all the way down in this area, but it never reached that area quite. But it definitely respected that daily demand. It was playing around all up in that area right there. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and look at gold. So if we look at this, let's break this down to this area here. So with this gold trade, as you guys can see, gold, this thing shot off something crazy. And so this is about 108 pips. I took 2 trades on this. So it was over 200 pips that I took. And so I literally caught this. If you look at this from a 4-hour perspective, I had a 4-hour trend on this particular pair, and it tapped here, here, and here. So this trend was valid because it had 3 points to it. And when I looked at this particular pair, I had an alert on this trend. It broke my trend. And then when it broke my trend, let's see, it broke the trend and started playing in this area here. And so what I did, I ended up taking an entry right after this retest candle on this one. And I just set my stop right above this trend line because I figured, hey, if it breaks above this, then hey, it wants to go back up. I set my stop there, and this thing, it skyrocketed down. And from this, I actually set my TP at the perfect spot. I usually set it at 1832 because that's a well-respected area within this area. It wicked down there. It wicked my TP, and this thing shot up right before news. And then it took out a lot of people, came back down, took out all this liquidity here, and this thing shot all the way back up. So after the news went off, so I'll show you. So I actually caught all of my pips before the news. The news was this candle here. And so if you look at this entire candle, this was 200 pips, one candle. And this was a 30-minute candle. This entire 30 minutes, that was 200 pips. So if someone caught the buy down here, they could have rolled this all the way up, which was extremely risky. But it came up here and it shot all the way back down and then skyrocketed up. And so I was fortunate to catch my pips before the news. And once I caught these pips, I was done for the rest of the day. I didn't trade anything else because I was satisfied with those particular profits. But if we look at gold overall, we can see gold is still bearish. However, I had a daily supply on here that I've been hawking for a while. And if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that gold, it played around in this area, but it never quite got up there. So if you look at this on the 4-hour perspective, we're in bullish momentum, which we have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Price came down here and took out liquidity all in this area here. Took out liquidity here. It broke this last low. However, it came back up and it took out this high here. As you can see, price is above this high. So we're still in bullish momentum, okay? So basically the news took out liquidity, killed all of those stop losses, and it came up here. I would like to see price come up a tad bit further and tap into the supply because we're still not quite there yet. And if we drop it down to, let's see, I believe there was some area, 3-hour or something like that. Yeah, we have imbalances up in the supply area. Let me drop it to the 1-hour. I think it was, yeah, look at this. So on a 30-minute time frame, we have this imbalance all the way up here. And because this is small, you know, I think that price might come up to this area. I would like to see if it will. If price can come up to this area, wick into this, and then give us a shoot to the downside. If we're looking at our Fibonacci from a daily perspective on this, I believe that's right in the area of our 78.6, because I know gold respects that a lot. Yeah, look at that. That's right in that area. So it's a little bit above it, which is right in the middle of our supply zone. So I would like to see price come up to this area and possibly tap into this. So I'll put an alert, possibly at the bottom of this supply zone, just to see if it'll tap into it. Gold taps into supply zone, daily supply. Well, yeah, supply zone. And if it gets into the supply zone, I'll set another alert up here for this imbalance up here, because I'm curious to see exactly what it's going to do. If it'll shoot up in this area to possibly give us a dip to the downside. Let's look at this on a weekly, because I'm curious to see. Now, from a weekly perspective, we could break that supply. We could break that supply. We're still bullish, even though this high wasn't taken out. We haven't taken out, let me see, higher high, higher low. Yeah, we still haven't taken out this low down here, so we're still bullish. And when you look at this from a weekly perspective, we still have a weekly supply zone up here that has not been tested yet. So anything can happen with gold. You know, you just gotta be patient and see what it'll give you. But like I said, anything can happen. You know, price can blast through the supply zone, shoot all the way back up here, give us a retest, and then continue to the upside. However way we look at it, you know, all of them are valid, you know, valid points. You know, however, you know, we could look for it to tap into this and come back down and give us a higher low. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in bullish momentum, it can cap down here, give us a higher low. We can catch those pips and then possibly climb up to that weekly supply. So we just want to be patient and see exactly what it's going to give us. Okay, because right now, this is our last valid higher low because it broke this high here. So before this is broken and retest, we're still in bullish momentum. Okay. That's pretty much what I have on these pairs. Do you guys have any other pairs that you want to see marked up? You guys want to see US 30 or Nas 100? You know what? I think I could probably shoot to those anyway. Let's check those out. Let's go to US 30. BTC? Okay, I got you. Let's go look at BTC first. Yeah, I know you've been killing BTC this week. Or last week. I'm still kind of skeptical on that BTC yet. I ain't really jumped all the way in yet. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Show an example of liquidity sweep or equal lows or highs. Okay. So if we're looking at BTC from a daily perspective, we can see that, you know, we're bearish right now. We can see, let's mark this up. We can see that we had a low. Now, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. All right. So we can see on BTC, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high on BTC currently right now. Let's go ahead and make this a little thick. Okay. So that's our overall big picture that we kind of see from a daily perspective on BTC. So let's go ahead and break this down. Let's actually mark up our lower highs and lower lows from a daily perspective. Lower low, lower low, lower high, lower high. Okay, that's our big picture. So let's drop it to the 4 hour. And as we can see on this 4 hour, man, this is Wyckoff all in this thing. So let's look at this. Man, this possibly was a spring on a smaller time frame. Let me see something. No. However, this is definitely Wyckoff though. This will be considered as our resistance lines. Support lines down here. Okay. Our SC, our selling climax. This here is a UA because it's higher than our, well, this is an AR first, automatic rally. This is higher, so this is considered as a UA, or this may be, it can be either one of those, but I want to see exactly what this is going to do. Let me drop it to a smaller time frame first. I want to see something. Go to the hourly first. It's not all the way defined. I don't have those parameters like I like to see. However, hold on for a second. Let me go to the 4 hour and mark this up. Let me see. Lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is our last 4 hour. Okay. Drop it down to the 1 hour to see what we're looking at. Let's see, lower high. Lower high, lower low. So I'll say this is lower high, lower low. This is like a break of structure. It still got low, so this is all the way weird. So from a 1 hour perspective, this gotta be the lower high, lower low, lower high on the 1 hour. So and I'm just trying to mark these parameters up because it's a huge consolidation and it's a little weird. Just trying to make sure that we have these parameters. I'm gonna delete this white call for right now because it don't have all the parameters anyway that we need. It's not all the way defined. So we have a 1 hour higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This is our H1 lower low as well. Okay, so with gold, with BTC, let's drop to a smaller time frame to see what we have in this area over here. Let me do a bar replay for a second. Let's look at the 15 minute. So in this area, we have a demand zone right here on BTC. And we also have an imbalance as well on the 15 minute. Right here. Let's see what the 5 minute is looking like. Okay, we got an imbalance a little lower on the 5 minute right here. but I think this one here will be respected a little bit more. Well, maybe not, because this is actually in this demand zone. But I'm gonna mark them both up. This is 15 minute and this is 5 minute. This here, this is 15 minute. This is a 5 minute imbalance. So what we could see, let me go back to the 4 hour right quick. What we could see, because we could see prices coming down actually now. We could see price, you know, tap into this and just break all through this. That's the possibility that it could happen, because we're still in bearish momentum, or it can bounce off of this and shoot back up. We don't know. We won't know until this area right here is broken. This is not even a confirmed lower high yet. Hold on, let me see. H1. Yeah, this is not even confirmed yet. So until this area is broken right here, that's what we're looking at. Price could possibly bounce and blast through this area here and then shoot back up to the upside. If not, then it'll bounce off of this and maybe shoot to the upside to give us a break of structure and maybe shoot up. Because we're due for another, you know, we're due for a daily lower high anyway. We're kind of playing around in this area, so we're due for a break of structure for price to kind of come back up. That's one of the things I see with this. Yeah, that's pretty much what I see. I mean, it was in a huge consolidation for a minute, and like I said, we can see that this 4 hour candle is coming down right now. Let's see, from a 1 hour perspective, we got lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It's coming down. It's just staircasing down, pretty much what it's doing. And with this, it's giving really good market structure. Like, let's just say we caught this move here, bounced off the 50%, came down, hit our negative 61.8. You know, we came down to this area here, caught this one here, came up, bounced off the 78, almost the 78.6. Now it's shooting down. So I'm expecting price to come down to this area, because that's a negative 27 right there. Possibly come down to this area. Either one of them can work, because like I said, we're in bearish momentum, you know, and it's going down. We can see it. It's just giving us staircases. That's pretty much what I see on BTC. Now you said, can I show an example of, you know, liquidity sweep of equal lows or equal highs? Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can find one. I know gold was a clear indication of taking out liquidity last week. We can kind of almost look at this area right here. The reason why I say that is because, let's see. This is 1830, and I can see some areas in this respected. But in this instance, the equal lows, I would probably put possibly right here, because we can see the reason why I use this for the equal lows is because look, we got price stopped here, we got price respected here, here. If we come over some more, we got price respected here, and also look at this, perfectly come down to this area. This is a highly respected area, and so we had liquidity in this area, right here. Price came down, took out that liquidity right here, swept all of this, took it out, and then it shot back up. And then we also had, you know, this liquidity right here that needed to be taken out because this was the last higher high. You know, if we're still in upward momentum, it has to come back and take out this liquidity here. Price took that, he came up and took that liquidity out. So now we have this liquidity sitting in here. We're still in upward momentum. So one of the things that I can possibly see with gold is for price, I would like to see it push up a little bit further, come back for this area here, because we got a huge demand level here now, and this huge imbalance. I want to see price come back, dip into this area here, and then possibly shoot back up to the upside. However, if it don't do that, what price possibly could do, come down here to this area and then shoot up to take out this liquidity here. I hope that makes sense. But that's what price possibly could do in this instance, to kind of sweep the liquidities and all of that kind of thing. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more pair, you guys. I'm gonna do US 30, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, and I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna go drink me some tea because I'm over here struggling, y'all. All right, let's look at US 30, and that's gonna be the last one that I'm gonna do for today. So if we see with US 30, we're still bearish, as you can see from a daily perspective. Lower, oh, no problem. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is our next possible lower high here. Until this low down here is broken, we're still in bearish momentum. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark this up real quick, you guys. And for those who are new, you can see that I follow the same exercises. I pretty much do the same thing over and over again. I try to keep everything simple. You know, I look for supply and demand zones. I do trade, you know, support and resistance as well when I see it and it applies. But a lot of times I trade smart money with supply and demand zones and Wyckoff areas and things like that. Let's see. Okay, so if we look at this, we can see if we took a fibs from this top to this bottom area, we can see price dipped into our golden zone pretty good, which it actually hit this supply zone here, dipped into the supply zone, and we want to see it take out this last low, take out all of this liquidity right here, this big long doji. Okay, so if we look at, I mean, price is pretty much in no man's land right now. I probably would not get into it right now, but yeah, I definitely want to see it take out that liquidity to see exactly what it's going to do. On a 1 hour time frame, we can see it staircasing as well, lower high, lower low. You know, just possibly could be another lower high. You know, whatever it's doing. But what we could probably do is wait for another pullback before we kind of catch it to the downside, or we can just be patient and let it break this area here, you know, before we jump into this thing. So what we could do is we can set a couple of alerts on this pair. We see we have this huge supply here with this unhealthy price action for this imbalance. We have an imbalance right here. And we could see price to dip back into this and then drop to the downside, or we can see price dip off and take out this last daily lower low. If it takes out that last daily lower low, then we can see that, you know, we already know it's going to try to make a lower high. So we can wait for some sort of schematic or something and probably catch that to the upside. US 30 is a lot of pips. So we can definitely see some opportunity for this particular pair. So what I'll do, I'll set an alert. I'll set two on here actually. I'll set an alert just in case it comes up to this area. And I'll set it halfway around this 32,000 area. US 30 approaching 1 hour POI. I spelled that all wrong. And then I'll set another alert at this daily lower low area in case it gets down here. I'll set an alert right before just in case it gets down there to break that area. US 30 approaching daily lower low. But Johnny, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, yeah. Trying to grind, man. All right, you guys, that's pretty much what I have for US 30. Like I said, I appreciate you guys always rocking with us. Like I said, I'm working on the alerts channel for our Discord. I'm doing some testing out today, and if all goes well, like I show you, like here, this is our test deal that I'm doing for TradingView. So all the alerts that we set, you know, I'm going to have them all come to our Discord. That way we all can receive the same alerts and we can all kind of be on one accord to see, you know, when they happen and things like that. But I'm doing some testing out today. If all goes well, I'll ping you guys later on today, let you know that the test alert channel is open and it's up and running and all that good stuff. Okay. Hey, you guys, as always, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. It's always a pleasure, and I'll see you guys for the rest of the week. I'm gonna be real active into the Discord channel. Like I said, I'm gonna probably hop on the London session a couple of times this week, or maybe 3 times, but I'll let you guys know when I'm gonna hop on it. And we can possibly do a Zoom, you know, a live Zoom on the London session as well. Okay. Like I said, appreciate you guys, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.